This is Tony with Earth Files Earth History, and before we take a look at the first ancient megalithic city that's ever been seen in Antarctica, I'm going to verify this image to prove that I did not tamper with this image or alter it in any way. So I noticed that there was a structure in the back, and for some reason my eyes just automatically pick it up. Almost, it doesn't matter how small it is or how it's hidden. And I noticed there was a glass dome sitting on a structure. So I wanted to get a high definition picture and clean this up and bring this structure out. So when I punched that image, this page came up, Antarctica facing runaway melting. And I noticed immediately that there was no structure here. Now, it looks like it's still there, but it's not. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to compare both these images, except this one is going to be done in a black and white enhancement. Now, as you can tell, here's the structure, here's the wall, and here's the glass dome on top of it. And then this is the city area here, surrounded by a wall. And in this image, these blurry, foggy looking areas where they airbrushed all of these structures out. They did it all through here, all through this area, and a little bit on either this is a metal or glass dome that was set on this wall that has collapsed. And if you look in the background, you can see where this wall or this structure has collapsed and went this way. And this tower that was sitting up, because everything is deteriorating because it's so old, it fell over that structure. So now we're going to start looking at the larger images of this city area. In this first image, I enhanced it with a light gray. So what I'm fixing to tell you, try to comprehend, and it may take a couple of minutes to comprehend what I'm telling you, but these gray areas that are smooth here and here is where they airbrushed out part of these structures. And the reason that they did it, if you look down here, you're going to see support pilings. There's one here, here, and here. There's one here. And then you can see where they missed it with the airbrush. There's support pilings here also. And then you can see them all through this area. This city was built on these support pilings. This ice is 1 to 3 miles thick. So there is this city here, which is the size of Houston and maybe larger, was built on top of these support pilings. They supported this city. This city sit in the sky between 1 to 3 miles high. That's the reason that this wall here stops here, and then underneath it, if you take a close look, you can see the support pilings supporting this city. That's the reason that this wall goes down here and stops. So now you understand that if there was no ice in this area, or the time that this structure was built, and there was no ice at that time, you'd be standing on the ground looking up in the sky and seeing a city that's either 1 to 3 miles high. I know I just repeated it, but I want you to grasp what I'm telling you. And this wall here, it's almost, even though it's deteriorated and collapsing a little bit, it still has the perfect 90 degrees here and here and here, which shows it was intelligently and artificially made. And you cannot deny that, because we have a structure right here that proves what I'm saying. If you notice over here to the right-hand side, it looks like a tower, and it continues over, bent looking towards this direction. If you look right here, there's the same that looks like a tower, and it's got something coming off of it, and it's bent in this direction also. And there's another one back here you can barely see, but it's the same thing. What it looks like to me is because this city was built in the sky, it was going to have to deal with weather conditions like storms, lightning, and high winds. These columns here supported a glass canopy that covered this whole city area through here and maybe through the whole complex to protect it from the extreme weather conditions. That's the reason, if you look in this area where this has been slightly airbrushed in, this probably was part of the canopy that it was connected to, and then over the years of deterioration, it has collapsed and fallen away from the structure. And now we're going to take one more look at these support pilings that's holding this city in the air. So I'm going to enhance it. And you can really see the support pilings with this enhancement all through this area. And you can see them over in this area too. And then you can see this structure that held up this glass canopy that covered this city at one time that has collapsed. This has to be one of the greatest discoveries that ever has been made on this planet concerning archaeology and humans' past history. There's all indications the way that this structure and this city was built, that it was built by the Anunnaki. In the second enhancement that I did in dark, it now brings out the definition in these buildings, these structures, and these towers. And again, you can see where the glass dome was supported by whatever these structures were. This building here, you can see it's got perfect 90-degree edges. It's evenly spaced through the wall areas. The wall goes like this. It goes to this point and then turns and goes this direction. But these windows or these entrance or whatever these are evenly spaced apart, and they're perfect in width and height, and it has the perfect 90-degree edges. You can see where this structure, you can't see it totally clear, but you can see the outline of it and the supports that are help holding it up. This whole city area here and all through this area is deteriorated, and part of it has collapsed. But you can still see the outline of this building back here. And if you look close enough, this was a wall, and this structure was sitting straight up and has fallen this direction. And again, you can see this tower, which has broke off, has fallen over this structure also. You can see another structure here, perfect 90 degrees. And then you see the smaller structures, you can see some of the towers, and you can see some of the building walls, especially this one right here that goes through here and then comes down. Then it makes a 90 degrees and comes back in this area. I took the image, I compressed it, and then reduced it. And you can slightly see somewhat better of the geometric shapes of these buildings and these walls and some of the towers that are in the city complex in this area here and in this area here. And as you notice, there's a support column here that supported this building, which looks like it was made out of glass, has fallen over because of the age of it and because this whole area is deteriorating. The age of this complex is about 30 million years old. I got that timeline from where the scientists say that this ice has covered Antarctica for 30 million years, which means these structures had to have been built before then. This is just one of the reasons that nothing has been said about these archaeological finds in Antarctica. How do you explain a city that's the size of Houston or larger that's built on support columns that rise into the sky 1 to 3 miles? That is a very complex problem for them. So now you know why there hasn't been anything said at this time. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. This is Tony with Earth Files Earth History, signing out.